demonstration?
Yeah. It should already be going. Yeah. Hey, Ash. You just tap. Yes. Before you start it, you just add caption. Like you just tap it and it says tap to add caption. Thank you. Okay. suppose not eating first was a good idea.
What's that? Oh, yeah, like running out of sugar.
Shit, yeah.
Gas. Well, it is 100-something degrees. A lot of people are lazy just to make the walk.
Well, fuck it. I needed the exercise anyways. Yeah, that'll motivate me. You've been ahead of me. Alright, anyone who fucking knows me knows that I don't fucking walk. And I don't do this shit. I'm tired. It's 108 degrees out. My water's in my backpack, but I don't want to fucking stop. But the reason I'm out here doing this, aside from, you know, the obvious health benefits of doing it, I'm doing this because I'm tired of seeing people on my page talking about how protesters are somehow violent or whatever. We're all just walking, quiet. And as people drive by, sure there are some supporters, but I can see the head shakes and the disappointment from other people. And it's just fucking whack. This is important. I'm tired of fucking people dying for no fucking reason. So yeah, I'm out here hauling my fat ass across a mile-long bridge in the fucking summer because fuck it, it's a good cause. I need the exercise. But listen to me. You've gotta help stop all of this. Fucking absolutely worthless bloodshed. I'm out here because I love each and every one of you. All of my black and brown friends, family. Think about my niece and my nephew. And shit's gotta change for them. So I'm doing this for them. You did it. Fucking did it. I stopped to document everything. Plus, I didn't eat. I haven't eaten all day.
Oh. I have like a piece of pizza all day, so I feel you.
Hold.
Also, I'm like about to pass out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just sit down. It's so hot.
How was it?
Awesome.
Nice.
It was good. It's just
Hot?
hot.
Yeah, I believe it. Oh, yeah. We live streaming. What's up, humans?
Yep.
Drop your sunglasses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My fat ass just did that. What's up?
Good job.
What's up?
I'm ready. Now, let's get some food or something because I'm pretty sure that you and I are done. What's up?
My bandana fell off
Who is it?
on the bridge.
Fell off of the bridge?
It fell off on the bridge.
Oh.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
You mean
We're
my
gonna start
bandana?
off getting our speeches prepared. We have a few from 1 to 2. And I want to explain what this...
Hold this. Not ready for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get really... So, just a real quick housekeeping on public speaking. And I want to treat this area kind of like a stage. It's cool to get photos and everything, but there is a really strong message that we want to share today because this isn't where we're stopping. So it's not really about the theater of our shirts and walking across the bridge like Dave was explaining. That's how we're getting everybody's attention. We have something real that we want to get out of this. When we talk about legalized blackness, when we bring up the fact that this was a sundown town, when we organized it, this was Dave's idea. And I loved it because back when my grandma, my aunt and uncle used to live over here on the east side, there was a green bridge over here. And on that green bridge, it had a sign that said, it's a sundown town. Blacks had to be over that bridge at night. The sheriff over here in Kennewick would escort my white grandma with her black kids, my aunts and uncles, to that side of town. Because when that era was happening, that was a Jim Crow town. It was Jim Crow. These were laws that were made for black people. If you had black skin, you were three-fifths of a human being. You weren't even allowed to be a whole human being and have a whole vote or anything. And if you weren't home by sundown, they would legally lynch, kill, or, sorry, I'm going to use the word, the R word, sexual assault. They could do whatever they wanted to our black bodies, just as they're doing today. When we talk about legalizing black skin, what you're witnessing, what happened to Joe Thornton, this is modern day Jim Crowism. It is not just Joe that's affected by this. The whole black community feels the terror, feels the fear of getting pulled over. We are waiting for Joe to get popped. That's not right. We can't sit by and let these moments happen like they're just something small. It's not small. We were going to do this at sundown. We were going to try to do this march at sundown, but we thought with all the death threats that we're getting, all the epithets, the racial slurs we're getting, we got kids we want to raise. We don't want to be the next hashtag for America's entertainment when a black body gets killed and then everybody gets warm terror. We live in terror. And that's what legalizing blackness is about. It is not about demonizing and making enemies out of police departments. I know the cops at KPD. I can speak to this subject because I've been here since 1986. The police in this town has changed. Let's just press your part to the right. I've been here since 1986. This was a sundown town, and it still is today. And what happened to Joe Thornton is something that every time we get into a car, even when me, Joe, and Brian were driving over here to get a route figured out for this protest and this march, we passed by 2 cops. I saw Joe and Brian, they froze up. I know trauma when I see it. I work with kids in the Juvenile Justice Center here. That's why I'm so passionate about this. If I don't see the black and brown bodies down here on camera, I see them go away every single week. It kills me. I have little brown and black girls, man, that die. Black and brown boys that get sent up, get tried as adults. You can be 3/5 of a human being, but if you commit a crime, you're a full-on adult. You gotta legalize us, what this means, this idea that it's criminal to be black. One thing that Joe was doing, and I know what he was doing because it's what I do when I get pulled over. I try to humanize myself. I pull out my veterans card. I start speaking all proper, the King's English. So that, yeah, you know, it's code switching, but it's also when we erase ourselves so that we don't have to get into a situation where somebody's gonna shoot us from coming home from Taco Bell to feed our daughter. Man, Joe has more accolades than probably everybody here, probably more degrees than everybody here. You know, and be honest with you, I tip my hat to that. But I wanted to tell Joe, you don't have to be more amazing. You don't have to be more black magic for this. You're enough. You didn't do anything wrong. I don't care if you have a degree, I don't care if you got a warrant. A mistaken identity shouldn't feel like you're going to get popped and killed. So when we say legalize blackness, then we got to spread this message. You guys got to start carrying this. This could be a small protest, but not if you have your phone, not if you start talking about it. A guy came up to me earlier, right before we started speaking, he said, hey Jordan, you guys realize how many white people love you here? That's awesome. That's awesome. Go tell that to the police department and their cousins. Go tell that to the people that call us nigger. Go tell that to them. Convince them to be more loving. We are not the ones, when I scream compassion, not because we are not, man, we're compassionate as they come. As creative as they come. These people here need to know compassion. And so when I spoke about it on the road we talked the other day, I talked to the chief of police in Pasco, because I did appreciate how they handled the ex-homeless in Bono 1. With the human touch, getting in touch with the community, letting them know they matter. I saw the interview when Joe went on TV and the cops came out afterwards. I appreciated what he was trying to do. But it was just more like a, oh, my bad. Like, we almost killed you. We almost turned your daughter into a fatherless child. Our bad. Where your dads at? Why don't these black families have dads? Why don't you quit killing our dads? Why don't you quit putting our dads in prison? Why don't you create programs that not only fatherless, but grandfatherless. And then great-grandfatherless. This is not a mistake and it's not by accident. So when you stand with us, that's what you're standing for. When we're talking about legalized blackness, when we're talking about getting justice in a sundown town, we're talking about this. We can't wait for the laws to change. Look how quickly a system changes when there's a pandemic. All of a sudden we have a new system in place. Quarantine, masks, social distancing, 6 feet apart. Systems can change on a dime when the masses are affected. But imagine this, what did Angela Rice say? When the world gets pneumonia, black people get, when the world gets cold, black people get pneumonia. We don't have structures in place set up to make us even survive the pandemic. We get criticized for coming out here during a pandemic to save our black lives. It's hard. It's pressure. It's trauma. And so, NCD, I feel like they have a responsibility to speak to the trauma of the black community. You didn't just hurt Joe Thornton. You hurt every single one of us. That is a terror tape that they play on the news. When we're watching Joe go through, we're all going through it with Joe. We feel it. We feel everything he's going through. It doesn't matter if he's a good or bad guy. What we're looking at is why is his skin stigmatized? Why is black skin stigmatized? And Tri-Cities has a very rare illness with it. It is everywhere in America, but there's a sickness here. This place used to be called the Birmingham of the North. And these practices, this Jim Crow practice, and you can't just brush off somebody getting stopped at by the police and say, oh yeah, we almost killed you. Our bad, hey, we follow protocol and training. There's probably, I draw a limit as how far I go with the cops, because I know exactly what kind of training they're getting. And if we don't challenge where the training's coming from, we're never going to be able to hold anybody accountable. And this cop, they can be trained to come out after they terrorize us and say, hey, we want to acknowledge historic racism. We want to acknowledge institutionalized racism. We want to acknowledge that we just traumatized you. We had a mistaken identity, and we're trying to do something to change that. Speak to us like we're humans. Speak to us like we matter. Speak to us like we want to be contributing people in this society too, so you don't have to find more ways to fear us, to kill us, and not serve us justice. So I say the world is not losing its mind, it's finding its heart. This is what it means to look, when it looks like to find your heart. You have to stick together in this. There's solidarity in this matters. Your anti-racist work that you're doing, this is anti-racist work. We appreciate it. We honestly cannot do it without you. But we need you to show up more and more. Like, I'm going to end on this, on the motivational tip. Everybody gets started with something. It's always one black guy that gets everybody initiated in this. For me, it was Trayvon Martin. He was the same age as my son when Trayvon died. That's what got me started. But motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what gets you there. When the schools open back up and everybody goes back to work, will you still be there for us? Will you still be just as impassioned, or is Netflix going to take over? Or is something else trendy going to take over? We are being eliminated and erased. It's not just that black people are moving away from here. There are systems that are eating us up, chewing us out, or spitting us out. So that's why we do this. That's why when we're tired, when we're exhausted, when we're struggling for mental health, we self-harm behind closed doors, because there's nothing else that we can do to ease the suffering unless we speak or yell, kick in a door, or scream, or cuss. We're trying to make this as silent as possible, because no matter what we do, we're still illegal. Our skin is still illegal. Joe shouldn't have to have any fear walking through this town. Anybody who didn't show up, they shouldn't have fear to walk over a bridge with black people. All we're doing is speaking. So thank you for coming out, and I'm going to go ahead and line up the next speakers, but I appreciate this, and I appreciate if you guys carry this message forward. It's your circle at Thanksgiving, at this gym. Call each other in. Have courageous conversations. I get called in on things. Take it. Go. Get better. Thank you all.
out to have a cigarette?
I'm gonna come with you. Just over there.
Yeah, I didn't line up behind them.
Right here. Can you like step on this? I picked the fucking flimsiest sign.
On it because I do not like the idea of stepping on a Black Lives Matter sign.
Fair enough.
Dude, my knee hurts so bad. Just from standing for like 10
So
minutes.
sit.
Because then I'm going to have to get back up.
That's where I'm at. Will you hang on to this? Point it.
I mean, they can't hear it. One what? Maybe when I'm done smoking.
Huh?
When I'm done.
Well, I mean, to never do anything like that without eating. I almost passed out.
Yeah. I mean, all you had this morning was the 2 sausage McMuffins and a McGriddle. Ben Menisini. Yeah, definitely do that. Anybody who wants to share the stream, go for it.
That's not new.
Oh, so it's not.
She's saying go vote.
my God, my God, is this black man smiles because of this timeless black love. They hate because they know they should be addressing you as her kindness black love. Because of the way they treat you, I'm gonna make sure you never feel silence black love. That they age like bread, but you about as fine as wine is black love. This is a black man smiling, and I know I'm addressing too many people in one piece, but can I please say my piece? If y'all press to death, then I'm deceased. Like the black people they kill in the streets. Ironic how y'all lynch and murder us and cover us in white sheets. I mean, how dare these black men smile? How dare these black men speak? Despite being beat, arrested, resisted, trigger squeezed. This is me, black man smiling. A black man rising from the ashes like a phoenix in 18. Still don't know why they hate me. I'm just me. They're trying to get free and stay free. I'm just me. Maybe they'll accept it if I just be me. That was me in grade 3. That was me in grade 3. That was me in grade 3. And I said it for yourself. This is me. And I hope they legalize blackness. And I hope we stop having to see our kind killed on our cell phones. And I hope they legalize blackness. Hey, why is it that you'll just love my son when he's 9? He'll still be as adorable when he's 19, and I sit, and I sleep, and I dream that we will raise a black young queen with the heart of Martin Luther King, who raises a fist at everything I've seen, and we are met with acts of bigotry, or by any means. And this black man will smile as I walk away from the scene. Thank you.
Woo!
Hey y'all, my name is Lindsay Luna. I founded Black Lives Matter Walla Walla, and I'm just here to stand with y'all in the Twin Cities and here to stand with Joe. I started Black Lives Matter Walla Walla because I was angry and I was tired. I'm here today because I'm angry and I'm tired. We're angry and we're all tired. We're tired from watching the police. I'm tired from watching the police harass my father and my family my entire life. I'm angry because I know George Floyd could just as easily have been my father. I'm tired because I have been angry that Trayvon Martin could have been my brother. I'm angry that Breonna Taylor still goes without justice, and that could have been my Thea. I'm angry that Elijah McClain isn't here with us today, and Philando Castile, and Sandra Bland, and Eric Garner, and Michael Brown, and Stephon Clark, and Ahmaud Arbery, and countless more. I'm angry that this country values property over human life. Someone recently told me in a meeting that I was in at the Walla Police Department that we tend to be reactive rather than proactive. The Black Lives Matter movement was initially reactionary to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer. We're here today as a reactionary response to George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis and what happened to Joe not just a week ago. What we do in these moments of grief-stricken reactionary time has to lead us into a future where we're proactive about making these changes before the fact. Because not one more black life should be taken at the hands of the police. Not one more history lesson should be taught that glorifies or erases the history of slavery. Not one more black person should have to walk into a hair salon and be told, we don't know how to do your hair. Not one more black person should feel discriminated against when looking for employment for having an ethnic name or wearing their natural hair. Not one more black mother should die in childbirth unnecessarily. Not one more black person should feel they can't safely run with a mod because they don't feel safe going outside. Not one more black person should have to wonder if today will be their last day when getting pulled over by a police officer on their way home from Taco Bell. Not one more black person should be illegal. The list goes on. That's why we're here. We're not here because of an organization. We're not here because of rioting or looting. And we are definitely not here because of politics. We're here because Black Lives Matter is a sentence. Period.
Yeah.
Our lives matter. Like Naima said, I told my people in Walla Walla, and I'm going to tell it to you, I'm just following up with what Naima said. We need you to get involved. Every single one of you, no matter who you are or what you do, you have a voice and you can use it. At one of our rallies in Walla Walla, I said, before we can speak, we must listen. And we kind of gave a space for people of color, black people, and indigenous people to get up and share their stories. Hopefully you've been listening. Hopefully you'll continue listening. And now you've got to speak up. Speak up, not over. Speak up loudly. Get involved in city matters. Email your city council. Email your police department. Email your city managers. Write letters to the editor in your local newspaper. Talk to your family, educate your neighbors, buy books for your schools and your libraries that teach Black history. Educate yourselves. None of these people here, educate yourselves. Black Lives Matter, y'all. Say it with your chest. It's time to legalize blackness. Thank you.
Everybody doing? I'm doing one of these. My name is Jordan, from this community. Lived here my whole life. I wish we could say that this was the first time something like this happened, but unfortunately it's not. But for me, in these recent years, this is the first time something like this happened. So this does make me real happy to see this. I'm a poet. I like to think of myself as a poet, so I got a little poem that I'm going to do, or a spoken word kind of thing. My tone is a little different. The language I use is a little different. So this one's called Family. Yeah? You guys hear me though? You hear me? Yeah. Alright. Blood in, blood out. Even Crips shedding blood with blood now. Police release bloodhounds in broken neighborhoods with no love smells. Just searching for a sense of hope from a system that isn't broke. We can tell that it's completely broken. Gas get uploaded. When he think to expose it, social distancing was a time that we came closer to forcing the hand of the unfortunate man, scorching the land, because even the earth got to feel our hurt. Niggas is tired of this. Wiretap everything as soon as we went wireless, and they need to admit it. Body cams just so the bodies can be documented. What's to deliberate when this shit is so deliberate? It's a clear measure, no matter who decides to deliver it. And we just live with it. Telling somebody close we want the world to give a shit. When you're locked up for false prison because parents said she was scared, phone both of the parents. They really use 911 like a terrorist. And then their job is like, we're so embarrassed. Even though at the water cooler, they're more racist than cooler. But I see where she's headed now. Country run by pedophiles. What allegiance are we pledging now? When the whole world let us down. So what the fuck do you mean? And we still try to keep the peace with everything. But even the prejudice things that are projected as prejudice. How they love black culture, but they hate black excellence. Still, we just let them live. That's some pathetic shit. I'm not a pessimist. I just don't think it's worth the fight. When they get rid of all that racist ass merchandise, still they do shit for my niggas that serve life. Fake ass reparations when they still participate in mass incarceration. The birth of a nation deserves all the hatred. But still got a prison. Fulfilling the hope it gives me is so amazing. Especially at these protests and rallies. So at this point, fuck being allies. Be family.
Show again, guys. Show again, guys.
Y'all, everybody hear me good? Yeah. All right. First of all, I just wanna thank God. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was the first person I talked to, the last person I talked to when I end my day. So I just really deeply just thank God. If a lot of people don't know me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna relive the moment, which it's hard to say it traumatized me because in America, a black man's supposed to be strong. I grew up with a single mom, 4 older sisters, I was the youngest. And showing weakness was something you just didn't do. Not where I grew up. I grew up in a town called Stone Mountain, Georgia. I don't know if anybody know about Stone Mountain, Georgia, but in Stone Mountain, Georgia, it goes down. It was also known as Shermantown. This was the edge for KKK. This is where they resided, right here in Stone Mountain. You go to Stone Mountain, Georgia, you look at the mountain. They got 3 Confederate soldiers on the side of the mountain. These Confederate soldiers supposed to have masks over their face, but they decided to keep them out, keep them off. That should just let you know the environment in which I came from. When I came to Washington, I tried to escape an environment that suppressed black men, black women, black superiority, period. It just suppressed it. If you was caught, laid out, they'll tell you straight up. And that's the difference between here and there, though. They was blunt about it. If they didn't like you, they'd tell you straight to your face, I didn't like you. And I respected that. I can respect that. But when you come to a new location and people smile in your face and say certain things, and as soon as you turn your back, it's a totally different situation. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Growing up was hard, but just like he said, I went to college. Luckily I did, not because I was the smartest, which I was pretty competitive in school. I'm not gonna say I was the dumbest, but I had a full scholarship to play football. That was my way out. I have a lot of friends back home and I talk to every day. I lost over 13 friends in 4 years. People that I grew up with. Whether it's through violence, whether it's through the streets, whatever it was, I lost 13 friends in 4 years. People that I grew up with. People I called my brother. People I go to war with any day of the week. I lost them in 4 years, in a 4-year span. I'm still losing friends. So for me to stand here today and to experience what I just experienced this past week, I have to say I just want to thank God. People don't realize that, thank God is powerful. I'm telling you. Talk to him, he listened. And this weekend, he listened to every prayer that I had in that car. And a lot of people look at me and say, oh, you're just another black man playing victim. You're just another person using the race card. The race card. I can't help I was born this way. I can't. But I'd be damned if I let this society and the way they view us around here, it's unacceptable. Whether I'm black, brown, purple, or yellow, what I went through, nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves it. Education, knowledge is power, I'm telling y'all. I went to school and got a criminal justice degree and a psychology degree. I knew what to do. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. But now that I see where I'm at today and what I just lived through, my education actually kept me alive. They may say protocols why Joe stayed safe. Protocols. Protocol kept Joe alive. Policy kept Joe alive. I'm here to say Joe kept Joe alive.
Yeah.
Now, I live my life based on principle. And this is my life. It has nothing to do with nobody else. And this is why people speak so highly of me. Not because I'm trying to do things to stand out more than the next person. Nah. It's because I live my life on principle. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. As a man, growing where I'm from, as a man, you gotta stand up. You gotta accept responsibility of your actions and know it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta bite the bullet. I understand that. As a man, you gotta stand up on your 10 toes. Scholarship, that's exactly what saves me this weekend. Knowledge. My lamp is never full of knowledge. I'm constantly looking, I'm constantly learning. My lamp is never full of knowledge. I'm gonna keep every person out here can teach me something. I promise you. You sit here and talk to me for a couple seconds, I promise you I will grab something from you. That is our gift to one another. That is our responsibility to one another to teach each other something. To teach us something, just one thing about you, or one thing about me and my experience and what I've been doing. Maybe put a little light in, a little lamp, a little oil in your lamp. Perseverance. As you see now, we all here today. And we all here today standing next to each other, all different type of ethnicity, all different type of culture. It didn't used to be like this. It didn't used to be like this. We had to persevere through a lot of stuff to get to this point in life. We had to persevere through a lot of stuff. Martin Luther King, it'll be 57 years on August the 28th, 1963, I have a dream speech. It'll be 57 years coming up. Why are we still fighting the same battles he was fighting? That should let you know something. That should wake you up. Whether the experiences that you've been through in life or the experience that you see other people go through wakes you up, regardless, you need to be woken up. Things are unequal here. Things need to change. We can protest. Martin Luther King was protesting for us. He's still protesting today. I told my friends here, I said, you know what? After this experience, they called me. They've been checking on me every day of the week. And I thank God for them. I thank God for my girlfriend. Yes. Because honestly, if my girlfriend wasn't there, I don't even know if I'd be standing here in front of y'all today. My name would probably be on all these legalized, it would be hashtag RIP Joe. So I thank God for all these people in my corner, because to tell you, I thought literally Saturday night, I thought I was it for you. I made peace with myself. I asked God to put a hand on my daughter and just to guide me through. And he did just that. But I didn't come out here to say, you know, we need to turn into hate. Because hate is not the answer for us, y'all. I promise. Say that. All day I preach, all day. You can see my Facebook post. All day I'm saying peace and love. Peace and love, y'all. Love. Hate is talk. That's talk to you. You young kids that grow up hating people, that's talk. Love is natural. You ain't gotta fuck. Love just comes naturally to you. You're gonna love one another just because you care about human decency, to care about somebody. I'm not here to bash people. I'm here to speak on my experience alone. I didn't write no speech. I told them I was ready to talk. I said a quick prayer. I said, God, whatever comes to me, I hope you let me shine a little light on somebody. I hope I touch somebody. And that's what my purpose is, and that's why I'm here today. So like I was saying, I live my life on them 4 principles. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and my last one is uplift. Uplift each other. Lift each other as you climb. I'm going to say that again. Uplift means lift each other as you climb. There's no such thing as me trying to be better than the next man. I should be trying to help him get to the same level I'm on.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. I mean, I've been getting hate mail. I've been getting a lot of disturbing news. And I can't say much because, you know, they want me to stay back a little bit. And I got a quick tongue. I grew up with 4 sisters, so you know how I go. It was war every day. But to sit back and watch people stand up for me, that had to be in the most emotional, it's a feeling, overwhelming feeling that I ever had in my life. I see people all, Joe is great now, he does this. And I never did anything for no accolades. I just did it because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look out for your community. You're supposed to serve others. And that's what I believe in. I teach my daughter every day. Serve others. Let's go down and feed the homeless. Let's do something to help somebody else grow. So I want you guys to continue. This right here shows this is all I need. It could have been 5 people out here and out of the every day is a new day above the ground, and I thank God Almighty for it. So Saturday, you know, and a lot of y'all read a lot of mixed stories. I mean, you know, the media don't say what they say, but to speak on it from or hear it from someone who was actually in that car that night, most traumatizing experience ever. And I just reminded y'all, I just came from Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right, home of the KKK. I'm telling you, you go down there, you better watch it. I'm just saying. So I came from an environment where I thought I was going to be racially discriminated or profiled and all of the above. When I got pulled over Saturday night, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue, y'all. What did I do? I was up all night decorating our daughter's room. I mean, I got unicorn, I got JoJo blankets. I mean, I went all out. I'm feeling like a dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm sweating. You know, I'm feeling good. I leave and say, hey, babe, I'm about to go to Taco Bell. I want a Mexican pizza and 2 tacos. A Mexican pizza and 2 tacos. I should have went to the taco, because you're right. but I wanted the freeze. I wanted the strawberry freeze. So I went to Taco Bell. A normal trip. It's a normal trip. You're not even thinking nothing bad will happen. You just quick run down the street back home. You know, I'm on the couch. I got pulled over. And the person that got her friends like this. So for them to say, oh, well, you know, he followed protocol. That's what he's supposed to do. A lot of my friends follow protocol too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends do. Luckily enough, I was educated. Education is key. I'm telling you, knowledge is power. I put my hands out the window. What's next? I sat there for a long time. 15 minutes. I feel like an eternity, I promise you. My girlfriend came down and her friend started supporting against me. Because we already had this discussion. We've been seeing what's been going on across the country. So it's natural now, which is sad. It's natural to film what the police officers are doing. It's natural. Now it's just like texting your BFF, texting your girl, texting your foot, what up, babe? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's natural for us to do that. Thank God they did do that, but it's natural. I'm sitting there, everything racing through my mind, my daughter, my family, my mom. I mean, I'm going through everything. I'm going through the experiences that I went through in life. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, one, and why am I doing over? I didn't do nothing. All I did was go get Taco Bell. As I said it time and time again. And to hear guns get loaded, clips getting inserted, do you know how traumatizing that does to one individual, period? Regardless of color. If I had all y'all turn around right now, face the other way, and all you heard was guns loaded, you gonna feel some type of way. And I fear for my life, y'all. I really did, and I haven't spoke out. The only person that hears this is my girl. I fear for my life. And when I stepped out the car, I didn't know exactly how this was going to end, but I do have a criminal justice degree, and I do have a sweet tongue. So, by God, I'm about to use my gifts. Because my gifts is going to pretty much set me free. And that's exactly what I did. I asked questions. I even informed them of certain things that I felt they wasn't doing right. And it may have intimidated them. I don't know. But to be in that, to experience that alone, I'm telling you, for the police officer to announce to my neighbors I'm a shooting suspect, and I had no idea why I was being pulled over in the first place. He's a shooting suspect, could be armed and dangerous. I said, what? Wait a minute. All I got is 2 tacos Supreme. That's the only thing I want right now is my loaded tacos. Wait a minute. There's no way I'm armed and dangerous. The only thing you got on me is nothing. Pretty much nothing. And I asked them. They didn't ask for my ID. Nothing. I didn't get no ID check. It's because I fit the description. How many times you hear that on a daily? You fit the description. That's all. No matter how much community service I've done, no matter how many degrees I got underneath my name, no matter how much I give, I would give my shirt off to any one of you guys if y'all ask me. That's who I am as a person. That has nothing to do with nothing. I could have had any of those accolades, but if you can talk to me, just like all my friends have, my friends just haven't been long with them, but I swear that I'm sure like almost the best friends that can do. If they need me, they call me, I'm there. You see what I'm saying? So this experience and this trauma alone, you know, I read the post. Oh, you using the black card. Oh, you doing this. Oh, you just trying to give police a bad name. And honestly, to tell y'all the truth, I'm one of the people that believe in the police. Ain't that a truth? I went to school for a criminal justice degree. What you thought I was gonna do with that? I'm big, I'm athletic. You ain't gonna outrun me. I wish you would. You see what I'm saying? I wish you would try to outrun me. I'm fit, I'm athletic, and I'm educated. You see what I'm saying? I'm educated. That's most importantly is I'm educated. And that's where they pulled over the right, wrong person. They pulled over the right, wrong person. And I reminded them the whole way. And I'm telling them, I didn't do this now. Definitely ain't reading this. Well, why you asking me questions if you didn't do this? Oh, well, we not doing this, we doing it. Well, I know definitions of terms now. I went to school for 4 years and went to police academy for 6 months. How is that equivalent to what I know and what you know? You said they're not teaching you protocols and policies. They're teaching you how to be one a decent human being first. So everything after that is, of course, pertaining to the criminal justice field. But I want y'all to know that educate yourself. Know your rights. Know what you can and can't do. Because that's what helped me out. I promise you that saved my life. Joe saved Joe. Protocols, policies, that didn't save me. And as much as everyone tries to say, well, they did exactly textbook what they were supposed to do. Well, textbook got a goddamn change. live through and make sure they are held accountable, but I educate and I try to provide change in a positive way. In a positive way. I'm not anti-police. There's good police officers. I got good friends as police officers. Matter of fact, I'm doing a documentary right now, and as much as those people say on Facebook, oh, he did this to gain attention for his documentary. I hope everybody sees my documentary. I hope God they do. Because when you see my documentary, you're going to see that Joe was trying to get these police officers to open up and to know them on a personal level. The only way you establish friendship, like I said, friendship is essential to the soul. All of us out here are my friends right now. You ever see me out, you gonna talk to me, we got beat. You better run fast because I can run fast. You see what I'm saying? Friendship is essential to the soul. And the only way you get to know a person is by learning more about that person. Personal information. Family, kids, what you do when you don't have a uniform on. This was my documentary was trying to show. I was trying to highlight police officers in a way to bridge that gap. That's all I was trying to do. I wasn't bashing them. I wasn't saying we need to defund them. I wasn't saying, I was just trying to simply say, it's time to change. Let's come together as one. Let's communicate better. And communication is always the number one thing that causes so much turmoil. Our communication needs to get better. But if they don't want to communicate with us effectively, then we're going to keep protesting from here on out. I promise you. So love one another. And I hope that they hear this a wake-up call, not to start hating. Not to start hating, because I'm one of the most, I look intimidating, but I'm jolly as hell. I promise you, dog. You put on music right now, I'll probably break dance with you, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm that you know, like, I'm warm-hearted. You can come to me, you can talk to me, you can confide in me. My friends is over here, right here, on the side. These are some of my closest friends. That's my little nephew right here. If they ever call me, have you guys ever called me? I not come through for y'all. I've always come through for that's in my circle. That's a family. If you my friend, you my family. I don't have family up here, blood related, besides my daughter. All my family in Atlanta. I spend Thanksgiving with my close friends. Every Thanksgiving, Christmas, my close friends and family. This is all I got. Y'all are all I got. I'm not a natural Tri-Citian. I'm not. And I can admit to that. But over the years I've been here, all I have done is try to serve the community in which I live. And I'm going to continue to do the same thing, whether they arrest me again or whether they put me behind bar. I'm going to continue to do Joe. Big bro Joe. So I thank you guys. I really do thank you guys. And I hope even in the day, I look to do something, some type of encouragement, some type of motivation to continue to fight for what is right. Humanity, fight for humanity, period. Fight for what's right. That deep little gut, that little itching feeling on your right booty cheek itching, telling you something. It's telling you something. Listen to that. Listen to that. Follow that. Follow that. Just follow it. I promise you, you will see things change in a way that you never seen before. I currently, right now, as I speak, and I made it, I'm cutting it short, really. I'm sorry. But I told them, they said, Joseph, what do you feel? What is your agenda? I said, you know what? I thought about it, and I prayed about it. I said, I'm going back to school. What? I'm going back to school for my political. Amar, where you at? Am I right? What did I call you and tell you? I'm going back to school to get my what? Political science. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they about to see some change, whether they want to see it or not. And I'm going to give them a positive way. Because some of you guys have experiences like this in your life to give you that motivation to see it through. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to school to get my third degree in political science.
Woo!
They not going to completely stop me. That's why I said you pick the wrong right person. You just provide fuel to a fire that you probably won't be able to contain. And with the support that I have already in a town that I'm considered a newbie in, put it like that, to see y'all out here and to come and support something like this, I hope to see y'all in a couple years voting for me because I'm running for office.
Woo!
I don't know a lot of y'all, but I do appreciate y'all, and I am thankful And I put that on Almighty God, that I'm here today to talk to you guys, to see you guys, to experience it. I'd rather be talking to y'all 6 feet up than 6 feet below. So thank y'all. God bless y'all.
Okay. We won't keep you very much longer. I just wanted to say, again, thank you guys all for coming out. Thank you guys for all supporting us. So I took you guys for walking across the bridge in 107-degree weather. That was beautiful. This situation, like I was saying on the passenger side, was a little personal for me because I have a black family. And one of my biggest fears has been something like this happening to my husband, to my cousins, to my brothers, to my sisters here in the Tri-Cities, and nobody cares about it. And the way that they treated Joe and the backlash that he received basically made a lot of my biggest fears become reality. Which is why we felt like we had to activate again, right here in the Tri-Cities, for the injustices that we face. Again, behind the scenes, there's a lot of work being done that people don't know about. So when you have these things like protests, you guys put on Facebook and you're speaking out for us and you're raising your fist, keep doing that because it brings attention to the problem. We did a news interview today and I was explaining to them that the issue with the Tri-Cities is that we are consistently being gaslit. We've been dealing with racial oppression here since we were born, and nobody wants to believe that it's happening. We deal with it at Walmart. We deal with it at school. We deal with it at work. We deal with it at church. Every single ounce of the Tri-Cities has systematic oppression and racism embedded in its institutions, and that's why black people leave here. We want to make an atmosphere where we can still feel like this is home for us too, and we can still feel like this is a good place for us to continue to raise my daughter, so my kids can go to school here and not have the exact same experiences that I had. So thank you guys for coming. We're going to end on a short poem, and then we're going to start going back to the Pasco side. I just want to say I love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Please keep speaking up. Share your videos. Share your voices. Black Lives Matter before we become hashtags too. And that is the message that needs to be shared. We shouldn't have to die to matter. So thank you.
Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. I really want to capture what Joe said. He talked about love, and then of course Daniel Loving, I love their name. I gave them Urban Poet Society because they have just this beautiful creative seed in their heart. I want that to be the mission to continue here.
Can we take the car back to the Pasco side so you can go back home?
You got a 1-year plan, you plant rice. If you have a 10-year plan, you plant a tree. If you have a 100-year plan, you feed the child. In our case, we're trying to save our children and rescue them from these systems. All my black and brown youth in the juvenile detention center. All my friends, people I'm just barely meeting. I've been in here since 1986 and watching all this stuff. It drives you mad. The only thing that keeps us going, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna keep you going. The motivation is gonna wear off. But where the activation will come from is from a loving consciousness. To have love coursing through you at all times, even in spite of all the hate that we're facing. And if you start adopting hate in yourself, you will lose momentum, you will lose energy. So, I'm going to end on a love poem because who feels like we're in some kind of war right now? So raise your hands who feels like it's a war. I feel like it is. I personally feel like it's a spiritual war. and spiritual wars, you know how spiritual wars are fought? With spirit. Okay? And this is what I'm going to fill you. I want to fill you with love. My intention is to fill everybody with love. Okay? So I'm going to read a poem really quick for everybody here. Just take this with you as the sun sets, We walk back over. Love poem. If you let it, love will move you. It can dance into the strobe light of your halo, even if you can't dance. It can enter you. It can mimic water and seep into every crack of your being and quench you. It can cut away the strings. Your heart can float on it like a tiny sailboat and gently sway on the waves it creates and never get lost at sea. With your permission, it can create you. It can reach you, it can heal you. I have witnessed it with my own foresight. It can tsunami all of your tears away all at once for all and forever. I promise you. So I say go forth and let it. Because once inside, love can scrub your soul completely clean and wash over the unfinished sandcastles of your dreams, giving you the freedom to rebuild again. Love can rebuild you and grant you the time to become whatever it is you wish to become. It has a nourishing quality. Love can feed you. It can pour gravy all over your biscuits and then some. It can remind you. It can find you. It can rescue you when you're stranded on the desolate island of your own heart. You and your volleyball name, Wilson! It says that if you open your soul to me, I will open up all of my doors for you. And that's what I want, like a game show. I want what's behind all of love's doors. I'll take anything from a silly $10 blender to the secrets of the universe. I'll take the giddiness of a first kiss for the rest of my life over all of the glitz and splendor of a winning lottery ticket. So if for any reason at all you've given up on yourself, on a relative, on your goals, your ambitions, your childhood fantasies, on love, in any of her endlessly beautiful shapes and forms, well, I encourage you to strike a match and light the bonfire once more and send your smoke signals into the heavens and watch in wonderment as life becomes a ball of clay in your palm. Because of everything anybody has ever told you about life is completely wrong, your only hell will be memories you wish you could have lived or people you could have loved. So love yourself and nourish your talents. Love your neighbors no matter what language they speak and give all of your pocket change to all the people who need it most, because that's the most important thing. You see, if it means finding the truth to love, to like, I'll search the skies far and wide. I'll hike the pyramids or mountains of Mars in search of a bright dandelion just for her. Love has been a lamp unto my sandals. It has kept me afloat. And like an old rusted boat anchor, I have this sinking feeling deep down in my bowels that when you're drowning, love is keeping your lungs inflated, and your lungs are keeping your body floating. And to keep the lava flowing, to keep your visions in flight and find that love is the only love of your life, all that's required of you, your only responsibility is to love. Now, as we step away from this little protest tonight, if we never see each other again, I hope that our message has been heard and that you spread them forward. Because it's coming from love, it's coming from joy, creativity, and vision. If they kill us, they kill back. And we'll need you to continue to march for us anyway. If your grandchildren, if you get to see your grandchildren, if we don't, I hope that you plant these seeds in their hearts and you march over this bridge and you talk about our lives. And you keep it going for us. Because this fight is not going to slow down. It doesn't matter if we're just right here. It's not just here. There's a bit of a collective family starting to take over. We're seeing each other. So it's not a moment, it is a movement. This is one of those movements. And I'm glad that you guys are all a part of it. Before we go, there's something else I was going to say. What was it? Is there anything else you can say?
One love.
One love. Hey, thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it.